You're now listening to Unfiltered with Mia, where filters fade and real connection begin. Each week, I sit down with inspiring guests, all share solo reflection for raw and honest conversation about growth, challenges, and the wins that shape us. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Unfiltered with Mia. Today, my special guest is Anthony Maher. Hi, Anthony. How are you?
Hi, Lamb Jam. I'm good. How are you?
So, just to obviously give a little bit of a background of who Anthony is, how I know him, and then I'll let him do the whole explanation. Anthony is Irish, recently moved to Dubai beginning of the year, started as a real estate agent, then became who's now a recruiter. But the most important thing, we'll put the real estate, we're not talking real estate today. Today we're talking about the most important thing is that last week he won the Battle of the Burj, which is an amateur fight, which was grandiose. Oh my God, like you had the Burj Khalifa and he won his fight with a knockout.
Yeah.
KO.
Yeah, it was great. It was definitely the best arena I have ever and probably will ever fight in. And even sweeter to get it, the win by a knockout.
I know, right? So obviously, I know who you are, but our listeners doesn't know who you are. Just roughly talk to us a little bit about your early years. Were you doing boxing before? What was the kind of activity you used to do? And obviously, why is the reason why you moved to Dubai?
Yeah, okay. So I was born in Dublin, not to go too far back. I was born in the capital of Ireland and then moved to like the northwest, like a kind of coastal when I was like 5 years old. Grew up playing Irish football, Gaelic. So that's like Irish football. It's like football, it's soccer in your hands. Then mum got me into swimming. Was a competitive swimmer for a few years. I raced at the Irish Olympic Trials just last summer, so the 2024 Irish Olympic Trials. But I knew I was kind of finished with swimming going into them even. And then a friend of mine was boxing. His name's Dean Clancy. He's an Olympic boxer now. So after I finished swimming, he was like, you should come over and try boxing for fun. And I did. And I did okay. I won like the Irish novices. So I like won 3 fights in Ireland. And then ended up in Dubai because I was working in real estate in Ireland in a company called D&G, and a friend of mine who you know as well, he was your last guest, Brian Flanagan, came back for Christmas to Ireland, and he was telling me all about Dubai and how good it is, and I thought, yeah, I need to go check it out. So Brian kind of scouted me over to Dubai. The owner of the company I work for now, Novi Properties, he's big into boxing and he competes, so he asked me, did I want to compete? And then I just fought in the Burj Khalifa last week. So crazy.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Can you imagine how fast your life changed?
Rapidly. Yeah. Crazy fast. I didn't think a life could change that fast in 4 or 5 months, whatever it is. 6 months now, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. So obviously, what was your first, I always like to ask people that, because what was your first impression of Dubai? Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it?
Like unjokingly, I thought it was so hot. I was like, I've been to Spain and everywhere. I've been to hot places, but it was so hot and humid. And I came like just coming into summer. I came during Ramadan. So the whole like life was not what I expected in the beginning with Ramadan in place and the heat, and you can't really enjoy time outside because it's too hot. So I didn't know what my early opinion was in Dubai. If anything, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and had a few doubts. But as time went on, you get more comfortable and you get the wider picture of things, and it turned out really, really well. Love the lifestyle, love work, love the people. Just maybe meeting the right people is kind of one of the harder things in the beginning, maybe.
Okay, I hear it. So, talk to us a little bit more about swimming, because you're a professional swimmer. I've seen you swimming. I was like, damn, boy. He's got nice, is that lats?
They're your traps. Your
traps.
Yeah, your
traps.
lats are below.
Correct. So you're like you've got a proper swimmer body and everything. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, the swimmer bod. It's described as a a pizza slice or a Dorito,
Yes,
a Dorito
correct.
chip. I wasn't professional. I was just maybe close. In Ireland, the standard of swimming, it should first be mentioned. In Ireland, the standard of swimming is like below the UK, below America, below Russia. So, like, I definitely didn't have as much competition as there is in the world stage. But in Ireland, I was probably one of the better swimmers. I'd always make nationals and make finals at nationals every
Mm.
year, but I'd never like make it on the podium or make. I think you have to be like top two in Ireland to like get funding and go on with the international team and things. So I'd always be like close, but never got there. Probably the Olympic trials is the biggest competition I've ever swam in, and my mum was a swimming referee. Like she was like a coach and a referee, and she was heavily involved in swimming. She loved the sport, so she dragged me and my two brothers into it as well. But for the better, no doubt.
You started at what age?
With swimming,
Yeah.
oh, maybe like 6 years old, 7 years old.
Oh, so you started relatively young.
Yeah. I quit when I was like 13 until about 15 or 16 though.
Mm-hmm.
And then ended up going back to it. My brother was on the Paralympic Irish team.
Wow.
Yeah. He was on the Paralympic Irish team for years, but quit right before the Paralympics, which he like would have qualified for, but he just quit because he had no like social life and didn't see the fun in it anymore. And it was like the joy was sucked out of it for him. And then when he quit, Mum was like, "You need to go back because he's gone." So I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll go back and try again."
Yeah. Okay. All right. Perfect. So that is obviously. What's your take on swimming? Do you think you would do it again?
Recreationally or leisurely, like I wouldn't go back to the level I was at before just because it takes so much time. Swimming is one of the most, like every sport to a certain level or at a certain level is time consuming, but swimming is really draining. It's like at peak, like if you really want to be someone in swimming, you have to be training like 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, if not more. And then also like other things on the side, like diet and stuff. It's just a level or two above other sports. So I'll go back for fun maybe, but not competitively ever, I don't think.
Okay. So obviously then you moved to Dubai. The owner of the company approached you. Did he approach you or you approach him?
Brian.
No, for the boxing.
Oh, well, yeah. So what happened was I was sat at my desk talking to landlords, talking to tenants, and the owner of Novi was beside me, and he said somebody pulled out or scratched or pulled out of the fight that was on like the next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, what fight?" And he was like, "Oh, it's a boxing event. I know promoters who run boxing shows out here." And I was like, "Somebody pulled out. I used to box." He was like, "Oh, do you wanna step in?" And I was like, "Oh, I haven't trained in a long time, no." And he was like, come and spar, come train with me Saturday. We'll see if you can do it." I went and sparred with him on that Saturday, and he was like, "Yeah, you're fighting." So I fought the next week.
Yeah, remember that was your first. You were meant to leave though at that point.
Yeah, I had originally planned to go to America for a year grad visa because my two brothers were going, and I thought I can always come back to Dubai. Not as like I did enjoy my time here, and I was sad to leave, but I thought the grad visa in America is a once-off thing, so I'll go and come back. And then after the boxing, I won. I knocked him out in round one, or TKO'd him in round one, and the owner offered me another position here to keep me here, and yeah, it was worth it. I stayed. It was definitely worth it.
I can. That must have been a roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah,
Like,
it was crazy because you think I was wrapping up, booking flights, packing, saying goodbye to people. I had like a going away lunch with some of my friends, and then I just showed up to work Monday morning, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know."
It was so funny because I still remember that after that fight, obviously, which was grand. Like, to be honest, I was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna fight." I was worried. I was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna fight." I'm so worried. And the next thing I see you performing, and I'm like, "Hold on a minute. That boy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's not messing around. He's just not here to throw a couple of punches. He knows what he's doing." And then afterwards, that same night, you sent a voice note off one of your friends' phone saying, "Goodbye, everyone. I'm going to miss you all. And thank you for everything." And then next thing, everyone sees you on Monday. And we were like, "What?"
Yeah. After the intention was to leave, Brian, I think, was away. So I was going to look after the run club Saturday morning.
Yes.
And then fly home like early next week. or fly straight to America early next week. And then the boss called me, the head of recruitment called me in for a meeting. And once they offered me the position, I still was like, kind of, no. Went home, called my mom, called my family, thought about it. And they're like, you'd be a fool to leave so early. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. So I said like goodbye speech, had a going away dinner, sent a goodbye voice note, thanking all the staff for all their generosity. And then again, they seen me Monday morning and were like, was that a big prank or what? And I was like, no, it wasn't, I swear.
Do you regret it? Are you happy with your decision?
Do I regret not going to America?
Yeah.
I think I was never going to be fully at peace with either. I was never going to be fully happy with either. So I just had to pick the one I was going to be at more peace with than the other, which I think was staying in Dubai. Because I've been to America before. I've been there on a summer visa for 3 months, 3.5 months. So I know the lifestyle over there, and I know I wouldn't have enjoyed it enough or as much as here.
Okay, I hear it. Okay, fair enough. Now, there's one thing that I want to touch a little bit, because I can hear you talk a lot about your mum.
Yeah.
You're close to her.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, she's like, I'm what you can call a mommy's boy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have never left home, other than like I knew Brian out here. I probably would have never left home or went to America other than my friends dragged me along. I would have never went on certain holidays other than my friends or family pulled me along. Probably like if I didn't have enough friends or friends that traveled, I wouldn't have traveled, and I would have still be at home, waking up, having my cooking and cleaning done for me.
Oh, bless.
I know.
Bless. And I must say, I really love your relationship with your mom. You love her to bits, and I can tell. And she's also one of your biggest supporters.
Yeah.
Even if you're boxing, right?
Yeah, big time.
So I wanna know, what was her reaction when you were like, Mom, I'm actually gonna be boxing now?
Oh, not good. It was not what she expected. So I told her I was going back. I had quit sport and was just hitting the gym a bit here and there. And I was like, oh, Mom, I'm going to go back to sport. And she was like, I think she assumed it was going to be swimming again.
Yeah.
And she was like, great, I'm delighted for you. It's going to get you back in shape. You're going to love life again. And I was like, yeah, I'm going back. I'm going boxing. And she was like, no. This is not how it's supposed to go. And I was like, I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to train just because I enjoy it. It looks cool. And then literally like a month later, I told her I was competing in like an All-Ireland, a college All-Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, no, what the... But then I started winning, and she seen how much I was enjoying it and how much I was getting back into a routine of things. And she was like, yeah, okay, I'll support him whatever he wants to do, really.
Okay. So now obviously you've done your first fight here, which was a week of basically training. You were not properly trained at that time. You just went, you first knocked out the guy. Then after, I think, a month, you got another fight, right?
Yeah. I had like 2 sessions or 3 sessions for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Happily enough, knocked him out in round 1 or TKO. Then about a month later, the boss came again and said, there's another show. Do you want to do that as well? I was like, yeah, sure. That one went the distance, but it was like a much tougher opponent. So I really started training harder after that, because I thought I could just breeze through everyone after the first fight. Yeah. But obviously, it wasn't the reality. I have to train hard sometimes.
Then you do your second fight that you actually won as well.
Yeah, I won
even
that
though
as well.
it was hard, you still won. I was there. I saw.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, then you started to go into camp and prep for the big fight, which was, you had 2 fights. One was on the Palm. How was it called again?
It was in the W Hotel on the Palm.
Okay.
Really nice venue.
And one was obviously Battle of the Burj.
6 days later, after that, the 20th September was it was the Palm Purse and the W Hotel, and then 6 days later, 26th, was Battle of the Burj in the Burj.
Okay. So before we go to, obviously, like, we explore like the main event, because I'm very interested of how you must have felt, like how you feel during that time. It's a feeling that you don't get all the time. But right now, what I want to know, because I've seen you going training morning, evening, in and out. There's there was consistency into it, you know? There were
Yeah.
days that was harder and everything. But talk to me about what was your experience of prepping, like from the beginning till the end? Talk me through everything.
Yeah. So it was a big step up. Big step up. I've trained intensely and consistently before, but it was a big step up this, I think. So me and the me and the owner of Novi started training camp together because we were both going to fight in both of these events. So it was nice to have someone to go through it with, actually, now that I think about it. But it went from like 2 or 3 fun sessions a week to he booked it in my work calendar. You're training 5, 6 times a week, sometimes twice a day. You're eating right. We're not losing. If we lose, we're an embarrassment to the company. We have to win. So it got pretty intense pretty fast, but I was okay with it. I was completely fine with it. I was ready. I was like, okay, let's do it. I trained in a Cuban boxing club. So they're quite old school, quite tough. They're not really one of those gyms where they'll give you mercy or they'll congratulate you for doing a good session. No matter what, they're always pushing you more and more. So it's tough mentally, tough physically, tough emotionally. It was just tough for like 2.5 months.
And then at the same time, you're handling work.
Yeah, or trying to. I don't know if I did that well at it. The owner used to book me in for, I'd leave work an hour early and train for 2 hours. So people started calling me a part-timer because I'd like work slightly less hours. And then I think my results kind of maybe slacked off a bit because I was throughout the day thinking of training and thinking of fighting and thinking of boxing.
Of course, because that was your main priority at that time. Not that work wasn't, but you needed to, that was the goal, you know?
Yeah.
How did you feel, obviously, when days that it was harder? How did you deal with it?
In the beginning, if I had a hard day, you know, a hard training session where I couldn't do what they were asking, or I couldn't mentally push through, or I couldn't perform like I did in the past, I'd nearly kind of just drop my head and kind of not give up, but just be like, oh, I'll try again tomorrow. And then as it went on, I started thinking, I was having phone calls with my mum all the time and telling her about this whole journey. And she started being like, you know, I'm still here. So I started thinking in training, like, mum's right there beside me cheering me on, or mum's outside the ring cheering me on, or mum's thinking how I'm getting on. And I was like, I have to, like, as cringy as it might sound, I was like, I have to do it for her. I have to do it for my family. I have to do it for me, for friends. I was like, I have to do it for more than just my own want.
I hear it. And that's beautiful, to be honest, because it's easy to give up when it gets harder.
Yeah.
It's easy to be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it happens often. Because you think about it a lot sometimes.
Did you ever wake up one morning and be like, nah, I'm done. Like, I'm done.
There was one morning I was like trying to justify quitting and trying to have excuses that were worthwhile that I could hide behind. Like, I think I hurt my shoulder a bit, hurt my ankle a bit, was so tired every day in work, was not sleeping right. And I was like, oh, it's not worth it. I can't do it. So I was like thinking of excuses where I could just get out of boxing and say, oh, I'm injured, don't want to train, oh, I won't be able to fight. And it was kind of just people around me that I seen their attitude, and I was like, why am I so negative now? Why am I dropping my head so much sooner than what my mum taught me to? So you kind of just have to not like knuckle down, or not like just keep pushing on, but remember the reasons you're doing it. Remember what's going to come of it. Remember, you know, why you're there.
But along the journey, not only the training was hard, but you dealt with some crazy opponent pulling out, saying yes, and then going back. So talk us through this.
Yeah, I think my first fight out here, I fought someone the weight class above me. So when I knocked him out, like, a lot of people in my weight class were like, fuck that, I don't really want to fight him. And then one guy did, and he actually did well against me, went to decision. And then after that, my next fight on the Palm, they struggled to find someone to fight me, so they got him in for a rematch. And then after that, for the Burj, my opponent pulled out. Apparently he cut his hand while cooking, so the doctor didn't clear him. And then whatever. And then they called 2 or 3 other guys. The promoter called me and said, oh, Anthony, he's pulled out. And we've called 2 or 3 other guys. None of them are to be quite honest, I've told them it's you, and they've all said no as soon as I said your name. And I was like, I'm not even that intimidated. It's like, I'm not training years. Like I'm still new to boxing. They shouldn't be that intimidated. But yeah, so then eventually got in another guy a weight class above me. Only people who are willing to fight me in the amateur scene are just people a weight class above me now, and I'll fight them. I don't care.
What was your thought process when you were like, shoot, I might have trained so hard and dedicated so much of my time and effort for that, and I might not be able to fight because I don't have an opponent?
That was the most annoying part. That was more annoying than having a bad training session, than getting hurt in training, than missing home. Having this thing where I've trained so hard and put so much into this event that's coming up, and then it not happening, I would have felt like I wasted so much time, and I probably would have been fuming. It didn't happen that way in the end, but I would have been broken.
I can imagine. But anyway, they managed to find you your opponent. So let's talk about your first, I would say, big fight, which was the one on the Palm.
Yeah.
I want to know, obviously I was not here, but what was your entrance song? What was your feeling? How did you feel that day?
Yeah, that fight I was on the undercard of a WBC Middle Eastern title. So there was some pro fights and a title fight, and then they had like what they called us elite amateurs. So amateurs with a good record were fighting under that. And it was pretty big because there was the first time I was ever fighting for prize money. So there was prize money on the line. There was 30,000 dirham to the winner of the amateurs, and then there was 5,000 dirham knockout bonus. Much more audience, much more lights, much more glitz and glamour. So I was nervous going into that. My walkout song was an Irish song, Arisha Sarish by Chase and Abby. Quite new, but nice and Irish song. My parents, my mum and uncle came out and surprised me for it. Novi invited everyone, VIP tables with food and drinks. So support was there, family was there, camera and action was there. It was big. I was nearly as nervous as I was back when I was like competing in swimming.
Really?
If not, probably more nervous, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. In swimming, no one's going to try and knock you out in front of a lot of people. You're just going to get in the water. If you lose the race, you're like, oh shit. But in boxing, if you lose, it's more embarrassing. It's more like disheartening because people see you get like beat up.
No, I hear it. So obviously, your mom surprises you for that fight.
Yeah.
Did you expect it?
No, not at all. I had texted her saying, do you want to come out and watch me fight in the Burj Khalifa? And she was behind the scenes planning a surprise visit with Brian, because Brian went home for a festival in Ireland, so he called over to my house, and him and mum planned her surprising me. So she was like, oh no, Anthony, I'm really sorry, I can't make it to the Burj, I have work and stuff. And the whole months leading up to it, she was like, oh yeah, I'll come out, I'll make time, I'll get time off work. And then I was just like, oh no, Anthony, I can't. So I was kind of disheartened. I was like, oh no, it would help a lot to have like mum there, because I haven't seen her since I moved out here. And again, I am a mommy's boy. And then I texted her. Brian asked me, did I want to go for dinner on Friday? And I was like, yeah, kind of strange. Brian's always in bed by like 8 p.m. But yet he wants to go for dinner at like 9 p.m.
Were you suspicious at that time?
No. Because he planted good seeds. He planted seeds like, oh, I'm trying to be a bit more relaxed with my sleeping schedule. I want to do more social things. And then he said, do you want to go for dinner? And I was like, oh yeah, makes sense. And then I texted mum. I was like, oh mum, Brian's taking me for dinner. Should I pay for the dinner to thank him for like all the little things he's done for me since coming out here and getting me out here? And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. I'll pay for it. And you can say you paid for it. And I was like, oh no, mum, I'll pay for the dinner with Brian. And then me thinking that, well, after she said, I'll chip in, I'll help you pay for dinner with Brian, I was like, right, she's not coming. She's not going to be here. Never a thought in my mind. And then she just came and sat down beside me, and I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, bless.
I was shocked. Yeah, I think I cried in the restaurant for about 25 minutes.
Did you believe it when you saw her like right next to you?
No, for like 10 seconds, I didn't really know what was going on. I was so shocked, honestly. And then Brian was just wetting himself laughing. And I was like, I think I cursed at him in the restaurant. I was like, oh, you, okay. And hugged mum, cried. And then my uncle came in 2 minutes later. He waited, delayed, came in 2 minutes later. And I was like, oh shit, another one. And then there was five seats at our dinner table. So there was me, Brian, mum, and my uncle, and there was one more seat. So every 2 minutes I was like,
Is someone else
I
coming?
thought my brother or another cousin or another uncle or something was coming in. So I kept on looking at the door, and Brian was like, "There's no one else coming, bro." Honestly, I was like, "All
Oh,
right."
bless. Well, that must have been a great feeling.
Yeah, it was heartwarming. It was pretty emotional. I always thought if she came out, I wouldn't cry, and then I did, and I was like, "Oh, not that there's something wrong with that, but
It's normal to have emotions.
yeah,
Listen, you leave your family, you miss your family, and it's absolutely normal. So obviously she was witness, like she would witness as if you did something bad. She sat obviously with you,
yeah,
not with you, but she sat in the audience watching you fight.
yeah,
How did that feel? Knowing that your mom is there
yeah."
and watching you, and all this time you've been training and thinking, oh, mom's here, she's with me, she's pushing for this moment to happen, and now she's actually here in reality.
Just like that, just as you said. It was actually her first time watching me fight as well. She didn't watch me fight in Ireland because I was always in like a faraway city,
Mm,
and she was always doing work. And also, she just doesn't really want to see her son get punched in the face.
of course.
But first, like I remember, I came out and hugged her before the fight, and then I said, "I'll see you in a bit. If you see me getting hit in the face, don't worry. I'm not getting hurt. It's easy. It's fine." And then I went, warmed up, came out for the walkout, and I just seen her, and my uncle jumping, shouting. They had like t-shirts they made for me. They were videoing. Yeah, it was a proud moment for me.
Oh, bless. And how was your fight?
Yeah, it was good. I think I was thrown off by like so many little things. That was the first fight I lost. So the judges think first fight I lost. I lost by 1 point, the judges say. But mum coming out surprised me the day before. They changed the minutes and the rounds last minute.
In what sense?
So it's our last fight was 3 3-minute rounds. This fight was 3 2-minute rounds. And I didn't know until I was about to walk out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I knew I was in much better fitness shape than him. So the longer it goes on, the better. The more in trouble they are against me. But mum came out the day before, surprise. Changed the minutes in the fight, surprise. I didn't get my shorts or groin guard until like 2 minutes before because they were late being delivered. They were supposed to be like 2 hours before, but I didn't get them until like 5 minutes before I walked. And so there was so much stuff going on in my head. And I like to think it didn't throw me off, or I was hoping it wouldn't throw me off, but I think looking back, it probably did a bit, just to disrupt my train of thought, my focus.
Of course. I mean, it's, obviously it's the little things that
Yeah.
added up to kind of, but I still believe that you've had a good fight. It's just that one judge who
Yeah.
thought you didn't fought well.
Yeah, no doubt it was still a good fight. I fought well for the situation I was in, I think. But when I compare it, being like harsh on myself for what I was doing in training and how I was training, I probably should have smashed them. Like, I probably should, like I did so much things just went out the window as soon as the bell went, and as soon as like I was in the moment, just so much of my training just flew out the window, and it was kind of just winging it. And I still did okay. Like, it was a close fight. I only lost by 1 point, but I know if not that I didn't want mum to be there, but if mum didn't surprise me and the minutes didn't change and this or that, I think I would have probably beat him. But if buts and maybes, excuses, like what good are they now?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, listen, like I even told you, like losing is fight. It's one fight that you lost, among
Yeah.
all the others that you've won, and it's a lesson. You learn every failure per se is a lesson for your next fight and your next fight, and obviously that was very beneficial for your other big fight that
Yeah.
was literally a week after.
Yeah.
So how did you feel after when you got the judges?
Do you know what? In the moment, it kind of happened so fast. I was kind of just like, all right, whatever. And then I walked out of the ring, gave my mum a hug, gave my uncle a hug. Thanks to everyone who came to support. And I was like, I'm going to go get changed and come back. Went into the warm-up room, and I was just so annoyed at no one but myself. Not the judges, not my opponent, just myself. That I thought like I'd let everyone down nearly. Because I know I could have won and I didn't. So I just thought like, oh, this is a disaster. I'm never gonna get over this. But then my boss was fighting like 2 fights after. I got in his corner, supported him. He won. We all had a good time with each other after. I got over it. I just moved on.
Of course. And listen, the most important thing is the support that you have around you during these times.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing. And the lessons that you've learned from it. So now, obviously, we move to 1 week after your big fight.
Yeah.
I would say the Battle of the Bulge was bigger than the one on the Palm, right?
One was harder and one was bigger. So like the harder fight was probably that one on the Palm Island, and the bigger fight, production wise and size wise, was definitely the Burj Khalifa one.
Yeah.
Because like it's in the Burj Khalifa, like.
And oh my God, I have goosebumps literally just thinking about it, because it was such a beautiful like event in general. Before we get, because obviously before I tell you what I felt, you tell me how you felt reaching to the Burj, parking up, going into the like behind the scenes, getting ready, warming up, and all. Talk to me about everything. Like, I want to know how your mind and where your mind was at and how you felt at that moment.
Jeez. You know, I don't think it really set in until I was warming up. But still, I was overall excited. But it didn't really set in until I was warming up. I remember I got an Uber there. I didn't want to drive. I was kind of nervous, and I thought, I don't want the stress of driving on the Dubai streets.
And in traffic.
Yeah, so I got an Uber there, met my team there, met the coaches, met the other fighter who I train with. On the car there, I was listening to music. I was trying to listen to like old Irish war songs to get me pumped up. And then I was like, oh, it's too soon. So I started listening to like calm songs, calm melodies. Pulled up, looked up at the Burj, and I was like, shit, I'm going to be fighting here in like 3 hours' time. Walked into the kind of stadium where like the arena where it was held. So much lights, so much snazzy cars, so much fireworks. It was crazy. And there was so much people there watching. Load of ringside tables and a nice auditorium or stand. And I was like, okay, I actually don't want to be here watching this. I just want to get into a small room and try and focus. So I went into the warm-up room with my team and just started to warm up. And it was really surreal. It was like, I didn't think I'd ever fight there or anywhere as big as there. Didn't think I deserved it. I didn't think I deserved to be there, really.
What do you mean? You've fought your way. You've trained your way through this. You've put a lot of effort into it, you know?
Yeah, I put it into perspective a lot of times. So like my friend, Dean Clancy, the boxer from Ireland, the Olympic boxer, you know, he's had like 50 or 60 or 100 fights, and he's never fought at the Burj Khalifa. So I was looking at all these guys who hadn't done, never mind as much training as a professional fighter, hadn't done as much training as me. And I was like, do any of us really deserve to be here fighting at the Burj Khalifa? One or two of their guys, it was their first fight. After their fight, they get the microphone. They're like, oh, this is my first fight. It was great fun. You are so privileged. I was fighting in sheds in Ireland for the first 2 or 3 fights. I don't think they had any idea how privileged they were to fight in such an arena for a first fight or a second or third fight.
I can imagine. Obviously, the good thing is obviously you see how privileged you are. You're grateful about this time, you know?
Yeah.
How was your walk, your entrance walk?
It was probably one of the highlights of my life. I'll always remember walking out, because before I walk out and it's just like in Ireland, it's a small shed. Even my first fight in Dubai, which was still spectacular, it was just a big room with a load of lights and flares and nice loud music and a smoke machine. But then there was 2 ring girls walking behind me. There was a huge announcer for me. My face and video was on a big screen. There was a lot of fireworks, lights, a huge audience. The Burj Khalifa was right there. I think when I was walking out, I took longer than I should have, just because I was so busy staring up at the Burj. It was one of the coolest things I have ever and probably will ever do.
And the Burj also light up in green for you.
Yeah, they put it in green for the Irish guy.
I was like, hold on a minute. I remember watching it, and then I looked around at the Burj and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He got the green lights from the Burj, special for his walk.
Yeah. What they do is they send you like a link. The promoter sent me a link, and it was like, pick the 2 songs. It was one song was going to roll into another song. So the first song was to build tension and build the atmosphere. The second song was like get the crowd going. Okay. And there was like any notes at the bottom, any like extra notes, like when you want a higher volume, lower volume, whatever. And I was like, put the Burj in green, please.
Oh, really? So You
I asked him.
requested.
I said, can you
Okay.
ask have the Burj in green?
Okay.
And I seen it. I was like, yes.
Okay, that I didn't know. Because I was like, hold a minute. How did they? Because obviously, I've always experienced Burj life. Like, obviously, you see when you go to Dubai Mall and you see it doing its
Yeah.
lights and all. I didn't know you could request unless I thought you needed to be a millionaire like Cristiano Ronaldo before when he put like his
Yeah.
wife's face there. And I was like, that's the only way it can work. And then I was like, oh, okay, you got the blue light, the
Yeah.
green lights, no problem.
Yeah.
We
I don't
like
know what strings he pulled or who he knew in there or
But he did
how much he
it.
paid, but he did it for me. So that was cool.
So you get on the ring. We're cheering the hell out for you.
Yeah, you were loud.
Oh, my voice still not back from that. So, and then you start fighting.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
But before the fight, not to derail, he cheered so they announced his name first and announced me, and when they announced him, there was like 30 of you booing him so bad, and he looked across the ring at me and he was kind of like, what the fuck? And I was like, sorry. And then they called my name and you were like going, you're mental shouting, and he was like, oh, like not even annoyed, he's just like, oh, and I was like, I started on the camera, you see, I just started laughing in the ring. I was like, yeah, oh, I know.
I remember seeing you having the smile and you're like, stop.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was flattered. I was probably blushing.
You were.
Yeah.
We could tell. So how did you feel hearing all these people shouting your name?
It was kind of like all the stars aligned. For whatever reason, right place, right time, however it worked out, I had a great training camp, great fun, had a great team around me, great friends, was with a great company. Everyone was there to support me. I was feeling great, feeling comfortable, and I was fighting in the Burj. I thought everything has gone my way for me to land at this point. And I wasn't even, that was the least nervous I've ever been was in that fight with him. Even though he was 5 kg bigger than me, he had 40 or more amateur fights. I just didn't care. I was just so happy to be where I was. And I was like, I'm just going to go out and enjoy this one. I won't enjoy fighting in small arenas or fighting in whatever circumstance. But in the Burj, with all my friends there and my support, I was going to enjoy it no matter what.
Of course. And also it was like, you finally come to the end of your goal because obviously you've put X amount of time of training, you've put X amount of time of effort and time and dieting and everything that was made for that day.
Yeah.
So you had to have a little bit of fun and, just enjoy the moment. And we could tell you were enjoying what you were doing. You know, like I was like, he's having a good time. He's actually enjoying himself over there. Go on. You were right. I was smiling so much in the ring. I was laughing once or twice. Yeah, I saw.
And then even in between the rounds, I was just cracking jokes with my coach. It was so much fun.
And KO again.
Yeah, TKO. Well, KO, yeah, he dropped.
He dropped.
Body shot. First time I've ever dropped somebody or TKO'd or KO'd somebody with a body shot. He was just taking... Yeah, it was. It was like 4 or 5. It was a flurry of 4 or 5. I practiced it in training loads. And it was actually one of my least favorite things to do. I always want to hit someone in the head and get a nice highlight reel. But my coach was like, trust me, when their hands are up, throw a load of shots to the body and it'll work. And his hands were up and I was hitting him in the head. I was landing shots, but he wasn't really getting too hurt by them. He had a bruised nose and a black eye after, but he wasn't really getting hurt. So I hit a few body shots and he just dropped. And I was shocked. I was like, oh, okay.
It worked.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that fucking, he was right. I looked at my corner, I was like, you were right.
So obviously you won with the big belts.
Yeah, the belts are cool. I don't know how I feel about them. I feel like they're plastic belts. They're not.
Nah, they look proper.
They look very cool. They look the part, no doubt. And they're heavy and they've fur on the inside. Yeah, they're unreal, but the meaning behind them is like there was more meaning behind fighting and being there with friends than there was in some toy belt.
Of course, I hear it. And what was the first thing you did when you stepped out of that ring?
I was just laughing to myself because I just had the post-fight interview and I did that thing where I bounced my pecs for the interview and the host was like, okay, what are you trying to do to a girl? I just started laughing. I was like, oh, how am I here right now? How am I in this moment right now?
Yeah.
It's insane. Walked out the ring. All my coaches were like slapping me in the back, like, well done, you did good. And I was just like, now I can rest.
Now you can get back to having a social life.
Yeah. Now I can just not stress every day, or not think about training in the evening or diet tomorrow or sparring on the weekend or getting good sleep. I can just go get a bottle of beer with my friends and just relax.
Which you did. You literally ran to the table and got yourself the way you were looking for a beer. You were,
Yeah.
I was like, what is he looking for? And you just grabbed and you were like, oh my God. That was so good.
I don't even like beer that much, but the beer, the bottle of Heineken I had, it was sweet. It was like holy water. It was so good. And my opponent as well, I could tell he was in the same boat. We hugged each other after, and he was like, oh, mate, I love a drink. And I was like, I'm about to run to our VIP tables and get one. Do you fancy joining me? He was like, yeah, mate, 100%. We ran to the tables, got a bottle of beer, cheers, downed it. It was great.
It was a beautiful fight. I honestly, it was incredible. I have goosebumps. We screamed so much throughout this. How many minutes was that? Maybe 6 minutes?
Yeah,
6 minutes?
3-2, so 6 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, 6-minute fights. The amount of screaming, and like it was, obviously these are things that you didn't see because we were like on the other side. So we've had the VIP tables, and we were quiet for relatively all of the fights. We didn't care. We would everyone was just doing their thing. And then we had at least 4 or 5 tables that was for the company. The moment we knew you were coming, we just all went forward. It was like, those war thing, like everyone's going forward. And it was just like everyone was walking forward.
Yeah.
And everyone was just shocked by the way we were screaming. We were cheering / screaming at this point, but it was incredible. But that feeling was just the best. It was like we were all here to support because we all seen what the amount of effort and obviously time that you've put into it.
Yeah.
So now let's say to kind of reflect back on all your fights and everything you've been going through, the ups and the downs, the anti-social life, because that obviously, if I think about it, you are relatively young. You're 23, turning 24 soon.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah, and you, at your age, normally people would go and party and, enjoy life, take life a little bit less serious.
Yeah.
But you decided to take a different turn where I want to achieve stuff. I want to get my goals in. Yeah. And you go win fights just like that. But people don't understand the amount of sacrifice that comes behind it.
Yeah.
The amount of work and consistency that comes behind it. And for that, I must say hats off. Takes a lot.
Thanks.
And I've told you many times, I'm super proud of you.
Yeah.
But as a 23-year-old, how do you think about your social life and sacrificing your social life to do what you've done?
Yeah, it's a great question. One I've been asked so much by people who don't really play sport as intensely or don't take, sport or even just a goal in life that seriously. There's always asking, what's it like? And when I was used to swim, I'd be like, oh, it sucks. No social life. Can't go out drinking all the time with my friends. What am I doing it for? I might not even come through on the right side of it in the end. But as the kind of years went on, I realized sport is a social life in and of itself.
Of course.
Definitely. So, going to training with your friends or going to meeting somebody new through a sport or doing an event like the Burj Khalifa, all of us fighters in the background having a laugh after the fights. We're all quiet because we were nervous before, but we're all having good crack after. So it's a social life in and of itself. Is it as fulfilling for some people as going out drinking or going to a social event? Maybe not. But over time for me, I was exactly where I wanted to be, I think.
That's perfect. And now it's been 1 week since you fought.
Yeah.
There's been no training camp.
0.
There's been no boxing.
0.
How do you feel?
I've ate McDonald's the last 4 days in a row and I don't regret it at all.
All right. And if you had to say, like, obviously reflecting on everything, how do you feel on this journey overall? Let's say if you were to reflect on this, how obviously we were talking at the beginning of the podcast that how life just changed like that. You obviously there are highs, there's the lows, but how do you feel?
Yeah. Just grateful. Just grateful.
Yeah.
A few things come to mind, but like majority, I'm just grateful for taking the risks, for making the decisions I made, for meeting the people I met. Grateful for the people who were around me, who supported me. Like every day, going into work, even with like you and some of the girls and guys on work just supporting me and saying, I can't wait for your next fight. I can't wait to go watch. Or after being like, that was so fun. Thanks for doing that. We had a great night out from it. We had a great social. It was just, I'm just so grateful for everyone and everything that went right.
Love that. So what's next?
Oh, I'm going to go right after this, which I know you didn't mean that literally. Right after this, I'm going to go to PFL, watch some MMA. I'm going to go to the run club in the morning, Playbook Run Club. I'm going to go day drinking after that.
Okay.
But after that, I'll probably return to the ring at some stage.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you miss it?
Starting to miss it more now, day by day.
Okay, I hear it. So, anything you want to add before we go towards the end of the podcast? If you want to talk about the journey, anything that we've discussed, anything that maybe I missed out on saying.
The one standard, like one typical thing you hear is like Dubai is not how you see it. It's not the same as it is on Instagram or TikTok or social media, and it's not. But it doesn't mean it's worse. Sometimes it can be even better.
So you think that you made the right choice, right?
Yeah, I didn't know for a long time. I didn't know if I did for a long time. Every day was a different opinion, a different conclusion. But now looking back with the full picture, I think I did make the right decision staying here. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think, can you imagine that last year, this time you were back home?
No, it feels like I've been here like 3 years. Time moves differently here, honestly. Time moves faster.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, ready for the next part?
Before we go, I want to hear what it was like. You know, I'm the guest or whatever, but I want to hear what it was like for someone in the audience, for someone watching me day to day. Like, what was your kind of outlook on it for those big days?
Okay. I was really, really, really in awe watching you throughout because, like, I was like, damn, he's young. Like, you are not taking this lightly, you know? And I have a lot of respect because for being your age, I've seen people going out and not caring about all of this, you know? But you had a goal. And whatever people would say about what you were doing and you were just focusing on fighting, but you knew your goal and you stayed focused. The way that you stayed focused, for me, that taught me a lesson. I was like, damn, like, you know, I'm also going through my cut. And there's days where I was like, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go to cardio. I fancy this. And then I looked at you and obviously you were cheering me as well. And I was like, damn, yes, like, why am I complaining? Like, he's freaking, he's prepping for a fight. He's going to get, like, punched and everything in his face in a big audience. Why am I even complaining, you know? And that was so beautiful. Like I said, I was so proud of you coming to, obviously, I knew that maybe that fight on the palm didn't go as per what you wanted. And I was like, I hope that does not affect your mindset for the Battle of the Burj. And that's why I said, and I literally messaged you saying, listen, failure is part of life, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm way older and I've failed so many times and I still fail at my age, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to take those knockouts to be able to be like, okay, next time I'll keep my hands up and I won't put my hands down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is how life is, to be honest. This is how it is. And it was just, even when you were, because at a point you were even cutting.
Yeah.
And I know how much you like your acai bowls. And you were like, okay, I have to give up on acai. I'm cutting. Nope. There was a day, I think it was a couple of days after my birthday, there was cakes and everything coming in the office. And you were like, no, I can't. I'm cutting. And I was like, listen, this is hard. He could be at a pub right now drinking beers and getting pissed and
I know.
you know, being with girls, because obviously at this age you'd be looking at girlfriends and everything, but even that you were like, nope, focus.
Yeah.
Focus. And then afterwards, obviously watching you on the ring walking out, I'm not gonna lie, I was even so emotional.
Really?
I had a little bit of a tear that I was like, yeah, and I was like,
Oh.
okay, nobody sees me, because you know, but it was a proud big sister moment.
Yeah,
You know, I was
yeah.
like, this is it. This is his time. And that's why I told you the same day in the morning when we were in the office, I was like, have fun because you deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, most important thing, just have fun, because I know how much pressure you had on yourself, because it was a pressure that you had for yourself, but you had the pressure of like, the whole company's got you, is coming.
Yeah, it was a lot.
You know what I mean? There's that pressure. Then there's the pressure of like, oh, I've got family and friends as well watching that live, even though they're not here, but there was people watching that fight, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted you to enjoy your moment. And when I saw you enjoying it, I was like, yeah, he's got it. Don't get me wrong. I was still nervous. Every second, I was like, damn it, come on, just go for it. You know, that was the last round. I was like, just smash him. Just freaking smash it, because you got this, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, just smash the guy. But it was such a proud moment watching all of us screaming out loud for you, telling you like, you know, you got this. We were like, come on, go, Anthony. It was such, I had like, honestly, I felt like a kid. I had stars in the eyes and I was like, yeah, you got it. It was really, really nice.
That's great that I could make everyone have a good time or feel that way. I remember that message you sent me. That was one of the best messages I got, just because I think I had about 68 DMs or something. I thought it was famous for about 24 hours. And everyone was like, unlucky with the fight, or good luck in the next one, or it looks so cool. And you were the only person who's kind of like, look, don't worry about it. Stick to your plan. Keep enjoying it. Don't forget to keep enjoying it. And that was one of the only people who were like, took a broader perspective on it. And it was only when I read that I was like, yeah, she's probably very right. I probably should just, the work's done, I should probably just relax and enjoy it a bit more.
Yeah, of course. And honestly, yeah, for me it was a very proud moment. I enjoyed it, and I'll be here for your next fight, don't worry.
I'll be here for yours. It's time for you to start working your way back to the ring.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, you did kind of get me into the I was like, okay, but it's so funny because obviously I've seen most of you. The only fight I've missed was the one on the Palm.
Yeah.
But all of your fight, I was here in Dubai at least.
Yeah.
And every time I'd see you fight, I was like, oh, damn it, like I've missed martial arts.
Yeah.
I want to get back to it, because you know, like once you've tasted what it is and you know how it feels, you don't wanna like. I stopped martial arts for almost a year. Bear in mind, I had this small injury and all of that. And I was like always watching you, and I was like, I want to be on the ring like that. I want to do the same thing that he's doing, because I know that feeling. It's like you have that adrenaline kick, and then suddenly it drops, and you're like, oh, that feels good.
Yeah, you want it again. It's addictive. It's an addictive feeling.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So when you was walking on the Battle of the Burj and I saw you fighting, I did speak to Neha, and I was like, do you know what? Maybe next year I fancy fighting. Oh. I was like, because listen, it was such a beautiful fight. There was only 2 girls fighting. Yeah. And I was like, damn it, do you know how many strong girls are out there? There should be more girls on this ring, you know?
Definitely.
Because I know some strong girls that could freaking put a beautiful show for you.
We can make it happen. I'll get you in touch with the promoters. We'll get a Lamia fight going next year, 2026.
Listen, I've put it out there.
Okay.
And we're training on
It'll
Tuesday.
materialize now. Yeah.
Exactly. We're
Training
training.
starts Tuesday.
Exactly. So we're going to assess how bad we are. And we're going to improve from there. We've got 1 year to improve for the big day. But honestly, I would love it. You inspired me.
Good. Happy to give people that feeling.
You really did inspire me. So
I think it was a good night for Novi. Everyone got along, had a good time. Seen there's more, there's more to life. Just enjoy it. Enjoy time a bit more.
100%. It was that moment where you like kind of leave the present feeling, and it was stunning. It was stunning. Loved it.
Yeah.
All right, but this is not the end. I got a special something for you.
Oh.
So it's a bit of a tradition.
Oh, is it the quick fire or the...
Before the quick fire. Oh, you watch. Oh, yeah,
I watched your one with Brian. I didn't get to finish it, but I remember...
okay. All right. So first is what ifs question.
Yeah, okay.
And then we move to the rapid fire. But
Okay.
first we go for what ifs.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. What if you had never gotten into swimming as a kid? How do you think your discipline and mindset would be different today?
Oh, that deep straight away for the first one? Fuck. I think I still would have had, I think no matter what, my mum would have instilled discipline in me, but swimming definitely put it there more so than most other sports would have. I was insanely disciplined, and just being able to tell myself I'm going to do something and then just do it. I don't think I would have been that good at it if it wasn't for swimming. But it would have been there to some degree.
What if you had continued competing in swimming? Do you think you'd still have ended up in Dubai or on a completely different path?
Probably on a completely different. Well, so my previous coach who trained me leading up to the Olympic trials is now in Qatar. He coaches in Abu Dhabi and Qatar. So I can't imagine I would have ended up in the UAE, but I don't know. Maybe he would have pulled me out. I don't know.
Okay. What if you've never stepped into a boxing ring? Where would you be getting that outlet of adrenaline and competition?
Probably Irish football, Gaelic. That was like my favorite sport growing up, and I thought I would never quit it. And then just as time went on, it was that Irish football isn't in the Olympics, but swimming is, and boxing is. So I went down that route. If not, I would have played Irish football.
Okay. Oh, I kind of know the answer, but I'm gonna ask you because you've got plenty of fights now.
Okay.
What if you could go back and relive one fight? Which one would you choose and why?
The obvious answer is the Burj one, but my very first fight, there was something cool about it. It was that first time at it. It was in Dublin. My friends were there. My teammates were there. The two coaches were there. My friend Dean was there. He came to watch me in my corner, even though he was probably very busy training. He came to watch. It was the first one is hard to beat. Your first love is hard to get over.
Of course.
If not the Burj, that one.
Of course. All right. What if you had stayed in Ireland? What do you think your life at 23 would look like now?
Jeez. I'd just be waking up, asking mum what's for breakfast, going to work, be pissing rain, it'd be raining on me as I go to my car. I'd come home, we'd go to the gym in the evenings, half-assing it because I've nothing to work towards. I'd be okay, but I wouldn't be anywhere near as happy as I am now.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I like that one. That one I wrote it properly because I had an intention behind it.
All right.
What if real estate in general didn't work out for you? What other path could you see yourself taking here?
Here in Dubai?
Yeah. Or anywhere.
I don't know. I probably would have really tried at some sport. I really like the whole professional athlete look. I probably would have kept trying at some sport. I don't know what other corporate role I would have gone into.
I see you as a model. Guys, look at his beautiful face. Come on. He's a...
Some modeling agency followed me on Instagram today and DM'd me, and I was like,
Oh,
get away.
told you. Okay. What if your family lived here in Dubai with you? How would your experience feel different?
Jeez, like my whole immediate family?
Yeah, your close family.
I probably would have been a lot happier in the first month or two. So I was kind of lonely in the first month or two, I think.
Mm.
But also long term, 3, 4, or 5 months and onwards, I wouldn't have been as adventurous in the things I was doing.
Mm.
Like before I came, I never thought I'd go to a run club. Didn't really enjoy running as a main sport that much. Now run club is one of the I look forward to it the most throughout the week, going to run club on Saturday and one or two other things like that. If my family was here, I probably wouldn't have got into those extra little bits.
Okay, I like that. All right, one last before we move to the rapid fire question. What if you had to choose only one identity? Anthony the recruiter, Anthony the fighter, or Anthony the athlete? Which one would you keep?
Oh.
Yeah, they're tough.
Anthony the
You can be
athlete?
honest.
Anthony the athlete? Can I make a fourth option?
Go on.
Just Anthony the friend. Anthony the son.
Oh, bless.
Wholesome.
Oh, bless. I love. See how much. That's why I love this guy so much. He's so cute. How can you not like him? Come on. All right. Ready for rapid fire question?
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Coffee or pre-workout?
Coffee.
Beach day in Dubai or night out in downtown?
Beach day.
One Irish food you'd kill to have in Dubai right now?
Bacon and cabbage.
What?
Bacon and cabbage. It's an Irish dish.
I didn't know about that one.
I'll make it for you sometime.
Okay. Who wins in a fight, you or your 18-year-old self?
Me.
Okay.
Let's smash that guy.
Okay. If you weren't in real estate, what random job could you see yourself doing here?
PTing or something.
Really?
Big into fitness, so probably would have fallen into some sphere of fitness.
Okay.
Or coaching.
Better adrenaline rush. Getting a new recruit to sign their offer letter, or landing a knockout punch.
Knockout punch.
Okay. Who's scarier? Your boss or your boxing opponent in the first round?
It depends what context. Probably my boss.
He's trying to keep his job. Love you, boss. Okay. If you had 24 hours back home in Ireland, how would you spend it?
I would just go for a coffee and go for lunch with mum.
Okay. What's harder, saying goodbye to family at the airport or walking into a ring on a fight night?
Physically walking into a fight. Now, overall, leaving my family at the airport. I think when I left mum at the airport in Dublin, I think I cried for like 20 minutes.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, I walked in the door, I just started crying. Then I had an airport point, and that made me feel a lot better.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
If you could relive one moment since moving to Dubai, what would it be?
If I could relive one moment.
In Dubai.
Oh, walking out in the Burj. Walking out in the Burj.
Okay. One thing you've learned about yourself since moving abroad?
I don't need a huge inner circle of friends to like justify me all the time, or I don't need as much support as I thought I did before.
Okay. I have 2 questions to finish. Okay. What advice would you give to your younger self first? If your younger self was in front of you?
Go and travel. Go and do stuff. Doesn't matter what it is, just go and do it. Younger me was a home bird and didn't like leaving my hometown. As social as I am, I didn't like leaving the hometown. I just tell him, go out, just go do something.
I love that. And your last one, a message to your future self.
Keep doing what you're doing. Remember the reasons you're doing it for. And just relax a bit more. Don't stress as much. Don't take everything as seriously. Just try and enjoy it a bit more.
Perfect. Anthony, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. Pleasure. I'm looking forward to this one for a long time.
Yeah, I know. We've been planning this one for a long time now.
Yeah, we've been busy.
I know, but we were also waiting for the big fight to be over.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being honest, and obviously making time for the podcast. I hope to see you very soon again.
Hopefully I can do some more fun stuff. We can talk about it in another podcast.
Oh yeah, don't worry. There's dating diaries if you want to.
I think we get banned if I talk about my dating diaries.
So, guys, if you want to see Anthony back on Dating Diaries, put Dating Diaries in a comment. Anthony Dating Diaries. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you once again for your time. It was a pleasure. And on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.